Hi guys, it's Michelle. Today I'm going to be making or attempting to make my own birthday cake. I'm gonna try and make a strawberry matcha cake. I love matcha, and one of my favorite combinations is a strawberry matcha. My birthday is also very soon, but I'm doing this a couple weeks in advance of my birthday because I want to take some nice photos with the cake and then just post it on my birthday, which is in about 2 weeks. I do not have much experience with baking, like at all, but I am kind of crafty. I'm pretty resourceful. I'm good with my hands. I've also done a lot of research, so hopefully this turns out okay. This is not a tutorial. This is just a come along with me type of journey. If you want to do this yourself too, hopefully you learn something. Maybe you won't. We'll see. Today I'm going to just focus on the cake part. The decorating is going to be tomorrow, but today just the cakes. So let's get started. So I have this Betty Crocker super moist white cake mix. I went with white because it's the most like neutral color, mainly because I want the matcha color to come through and not be too much of like a yellowy green. I also got vanilla frosting. I also have my 6-inch cake pans. And then for the matcha, I'm going to be using this one from Zenkyu Matcha. This is their Uji Latte blend. I chose this one because it has a strong matcha flavor. It is a little bit bitter, so I think that's going to help balance out the other like sweet elements because I don't want my cakes to be too sweet. And I also have eggs, sour cream. The recipe does not call for this, but I'm adding it in because I saw another video from Johnny Cakes talking about how to make box cake taste better, and sour cream was one of the things that he recommended adding. I'm also going to add in milk instead of water and oil. Also, I got cream cheese. This is going to be for the frosting mixture. That's all the ingredients for now. Let's get baking. Okay, I'm going to preheat the oven to 325. The box says 350, but in Johnny Cake's video, he said do a lower temperature so that the cakes rise more evenly and then they end up being more level. So 325. So he does eggs first. Adding a 4th egg gives it more structural integrity and helps it taste more homemade apparently. He's adding 1 cup of water, but my recipe calls for 3/4 cups of water, and then he replaces it with milk. So I'm just gonna do 3/4 cup of milk instead of water. I'm using oat milk because it's my favorite type of milk. This is gonna give it a richer flavor. I forgot to mention, but I'm also adding butter. Instead of a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, I'm gonna replace half of that with butter. So let me melt this. Okay, butter is ready. 1/4 cup of oil. He said don't put super hot butter in here or else it could curdle the eggs. So I let the butter chill for a few minutes in the fridge before I put it in. And then the last ingredient is sour cream. He says about 1/4 cup. I'm just going to eyeball. Sure. He said out of all the steps, this is the one that you should follow the most because it's going to cut through the chemical flavor and add more moisture to it. Then he adds the box mix. He just adds all of it. It smells so sweet. Holy moly. And then I'm also gonna add 3 tablespoons of matcha. Maybe I should just do 2. That's kind of a lot. I looked up another recipe and it said 2 tablespoons, but I was like, I love matcha, so I'm gonna do an extra one. But it kind of looks like a lot already. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with 2 tablespoons because that looks like a good amount already. And then Johnny said to fold, not whisk. I think I maybe should have mixed the matcha with the cake mix first, because even though I sifted it, there's still clumps. Okay, in his video, it does look pretty clumpy, but I don't know. I'm a little concerned. The box says to beat vigorously for 2 minutes by hand if you don't have a hand mixer, which I don't. So I'm gonna try that. Maybe I shouldn't have worn white. That doesn't look bad. I know you're not supposed to taste cake batter because of the raw eggs, but I'm really curious. I think I am gonna add a little bit more matcha. If you have some other like culinary grade matcha, I would suggest maybe using that. Normally I would not use this matcha for baking, but I don't have any other matcha that I can use for baking right now. But wow, look at this green color. This matcha sure does look beautiful. Okay, let's pour it into the tins now. And then to make it like flat and get rid of any air bubbles, he says to spin it and give it a tap. This is what they're looking like. One of them is definitely more filled than the other, but oh well. Putting them in the oven. Okay, we'll check back in about 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Let's check. Oh, they are still like jiggly in the middle. I don't think they're ready yet. Oh no. That is raw. That is very raw. Okay, back in for like 10 minutes? It's been another 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's ready still. Is this right? That is so wet still. I poked it right in the middle. I guess I'll just put it in for longer.
15 minutes later.
Toothpick check. That's clean.
You say something?
I'm vlogging. That's clean too. Okay, they're good. But they rose so much. Like, it's such a like dome shape, I think, because I overfilled it. Oh well, not much I can do now. I think I need to let them cool a little bit in the tins, and then I can transfer it to a cooling rack. I don't have a cooling rack, but I do have a trivet for our Instant Pot. I'll probably just use this. Okay, the cakes have been cooling for a while. Here's what it looks like. Johnny used a knife and cut around it just to loosen it up. It smells so good. I can smell the matcha. Oh no! It's stuck. Ooh. Ah. I'm just gonna eat this part too. That tastes good. Again, it kind of stuck. I should have put parchment paper on the bottom. That is not bad. You can taste the matcha. I'm glad I put that extra tablespoon. Okay, so I am gonna let it cool a little bit more. I'll put one of them on here, and I'm using forks as another DIY cooling rack. Do what you gotta do. Okay, so the cakes have cooled down quite a bit. They're still a little warm though, but this I think is the perfect stage to wrap them in saran wrap and pop them in the freezer, because I heard doing this helps it retain moisture. Oh no, the bottom is like coming apart. I'll figure that out later. Okay, I'm gonna put these in the freezer, and then I'm gonna go to the gym, come back, and then we'll try crumb coating. Hi guys, I'm back from the gym. Now I am going to work on the strawberry filling. So we're gonna macerate some strawberries. I just learned this word. Basically, macerated strawberries is just like a really easy strawberry filling. You just mix some diced strawberries with some sugar, let it sit in the fridge for like 30 minutes to an hour, and that's your easy, simple, fresh fruit filling. Letting the strawberries sit in the sugar brings out the juices and the sweetness of the strawberries. So I'm gonna dice all of them up right now. I just washed and dried these strawberries. I did leave like 7 strawberries out, or I mean, they're still in the fridge, but I'm not using them for the filling. I'm gonna use them for the garnish on top of the cake tomorrow. For this whole cake decorating thing, I'm just trying to do whatever is the easiest, but still tastiest. And I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm getting all the strawberries coated in the sugar. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. This smells so good. Now I'm covering this with saran wrap, and I'm just gonna let it sit in the fridge for at least half an hour before I use it. It's a little while later. I showered wash my hair. But now we're gonna try and build the cake and do the crumb coat. This part I am kind of nervous for. This is the part that I feel like takes the most like skill. So I have the frosting and cream cheese. I let the cream cheese come to room temperature. So I'm basically just gonna combine both of these. Adding the cream cheese supposedly enhances the texture, the flavor, and the richness. I'm hoping it maybe cuts down on the sweetness a little bit as well. There's this one YouTube short video that I saw of a woman doing exactly this with chocolate frosting. She made it look so easy. So let's see. This makes me think of my best friend. Growing up, one of her favorite things was to just open one of these cans of frosting and just eat it with a spoon. She loves sweets. This is what it looks like. It doesn't look like much, but I think with the cream cheese, it should fluff up a bit more. I'm gonna put this whole thing in. I love cream cheese. Whole block of cream cheese. And she just mixed it together. A lot of recipes that I saw said to use a stand mixer, but I do not have that. I was definitely not going to buy one just for this. I need better grip. Let's try a whisk. Oh my gosh, I feel like this whisk is gonna break. I have this, which was part of another contraption, but I think we got rid of it, so we only have the attachment. Even this is not great, but I think it is helping to break up the chunks of cream cheese. The video I saw looked so smooth, but mine is looking a little lumpy. Can you tell? Maybe I just need to whisk it more. They're just like tiny lumps in it. I don't know. I'm tired. I don't know if I recorded, but I just added half a tablespoon of matcha because I want it to be green. And I think I'm done with the frosting. And I think I'm ready to coat. You can't taste the matcha. It's fine. Okay, I just grabbed the cakes out of the freezer, but I also realized I forgot to level them. I've seen people keep it in the tin and then like cut it. I still think I would need to cut further down because the edge of the cake starts lower than the edge of the pan. So if I cut it in the pan, it'd be like up here, then there would be a gap. But I guess that would be okay since I could fill it in with frosting. This one would be hard though because this one's even shorter than this one. Should I just try it? I don't even know if I'm making sense. I'm just talking out loud here. Hold on. I'm putting a wet paper towel on the bottom to keep it more steady. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait. So I think I might just leave it like this. But then this one is gonna be tricky. There's a huge hole. You know, what if I lift it up, give it a little bit more height? Oh, okay. I'll try it without that piece first. No, yeah, I think I do want to use that piece. Give this cake a little boost so that it's easier to level. I think it definitely helps that it's frozen, like it's much more stable and easier to cut through. Whoa! Oh my gosh. The sizes are so different. This one is so much thicker. Also, this one's not completely even. Should I trim this one more? I don't know how though. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Also, here's my makeshift cake wheel spinner. I don't know what you call it. I didn't want to buy one, but I did have this Lazy Susan, so I'm using this as the spinning portion. And I really wanted to put the cake on something that's easy to hold. It's like a plastic plate. I like that it has edges and it's like pretty flat. It's easier to pick up and hold, I feel like, compared to just like a flat cake board. I was thinking about DIYing one, but like I said, I wanted this to be as easy as possible. So I found this at Target. It's also very large. So I was thinking of just putting it on here, but it's a bit unstable, you know? So I saw another idea hack from somebody where they placed another plate inside a Lazy Susan, then put a piece of wet paper towel, again as like a grip, and then put their cake base on top, and voila, a DIY cake spinner? What are these things called? I will put it on screen. I can't think of the word right now. Here's our macerated strawberry mixture as well. Wow, this got really syrupy. You know what? Let's try this. That is so good. Honey, you wanna try?
Do I?
This is what the filling would be.
I had a lot of strawberry in that bite, so
Oh, really?
can I try it with no strawberry?
Oh, with no strawberry?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, got this, and I saw that you should put some frosting on the bottom to act as like a glue to make sure the cake doesn't move around. Ooh, I'm not sure about this hole though, so I think I'm just gonna fill it actually, just to level it out. Sure. Now the filling, I think I want to add a little bit of this frosting. Also, is it stable? Yeah. I think I need a lot more actually. I need to make like a wall to like keep the strawberry inside. I don't really know how to do that. Okay, there's kind of a wall. So I will add my filling now. I'm gonna try to drain as much of the juice as possible. Okay, I think I have my filling. Then I just add this layer on top. And now it's time to do the crumb coat. The crumb coat is meant to lock in the crumbs so that they don't show through the final coat. That way you get a much cleaner, smoother looking finish. It's just a thin layer of frosting and it doesn't need to be perfect at all since it'll be covered up by a second coat anyway. Okay, I think we're done with the crumb coat. However, my cake looks so lopsided. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm realizing the cake is very off center. You can see it here, there's much more space on this side. Oh well, I can't really change that now, I think. I saw somebody else do this where they like poked a hole in the cake to prevent bloating. I think like if air is trapped in the cake, then it's gonna try and come out, but it might show up as like a bubble on the side or something. You don't want that. So if you poke a hole in it, then that'll help prevent that. So I'm just gonna do that. All the way down. And then the hole is gonna get covered anyway by the final layer of frosting. So I'm gonna saran wrap this. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do this so that your cake does not dry out. I don't know, again, it's just me and Kyle eating this, so if it turns out dry, it turns out dry. But that's it for tonight. I'm gonna just keep this in the fridge. Tomorrow, we're gonna do the final coat as well as add the decorations. Hi guys, I'm back from grocery shopping. All of these flowers I think were about $17, which isn't too bad. So first I got this chamomile. I love how whimsical they are. These are also edible. And then I got 3 mini bouquets. These were each $3.99. So first I got this one. It's so pretty. I love this random little one sticking out here. I don't even know what it is, but I love it. And I also just love the like pastel colors, like the pastel purple, the light pink, and there's some white as well, and these little green balls. And then I also got this one. So this one also has a lot of light purples, pinks. And then this one I mainly got because of the orange flowers. I do want a little pop of orange. I think that color scheme is so pretty, like purple, pink, orange, even some yellow. So I mainly got it for these 2 orangey flowers, but also I love these balls. I don't know what any of these flowers are called. I just grabbed what I thought looked good, and I also wanted a variety. I kind of just am gonna pick and place them and see what looks good as I go. I also don't know if these are edible. The only ones I know are are the chamomile. So I'm gonna like rinse and wash the tops of the flowers. Okay, I just picked out the flowers that I really like from all the bouquets. I really like this color scheme. I might make a bouquet out of the leftover flowers as well later on. Okay, I have my flowers drying and I'm facing it this way because we have this air purifier and it blows air. But just looking at the colors like this looks so good. I really like this color scheme so far. Can't wait to see it all on the cake. So I brought the cake out of the fridge. It was sitting there overnight. And I think I'm finally ready to work on the final coat. Okay. It didn't actually stick too much to the frosting, which is good. I feel like I need some kind of marker to tell me this is the back, because I want this to be the back and this will be the front. Okay, I put a tiny bit of clear tape here. That's just to help me remember where the back is. I'm really nervous. I don't even know if this is enough to cover the whole thing. It doesn't look like much. The green specks that were in it before did go away though. All right, I'm just gonna try it. My heart is actually pounding. I'm so nervous. I really want this to turn out somewhat good, that's why. So I could not get the top part of the cake to look smooth. There were always lumps or lines, so I decided to just add this swirl pattern to cover it up. I just used a spoon and slowly moved the spoon towards the edge of the cake as I turned it. And I think I actually did really well. Plus it hid all the imperfections, which was the goal. Frosting the sides of the cake took even more time though, because again, I just couldn't get it super smooth. The scraper tool that I'm using isn't even meant for cakes. It's meant for smoothing out contact paper, but it's the closest thing I had on hand to an actual scraper. And like it kind of worked, but I think the wall of the plate was also getting in my way because I couldn't hold the scraper straight or else it would hit the plate. So now I understand why cakes are usually placed on a flat board instead. But after redoing it like 10 times, I was finally satisfied with it. Okay, it is not perfect by any means, but I think I did an okay job. I'm also gonna cover it in flowers, so I feel like a lot of the imperfections are gonna get hidden anyway. I also didn't really think through how I would clean up this bottom edge, mainly because I'm using a plate and there's a wall to the plate. Usually it's just completely flat so you can like scrape it more easily, but taking this spatula and carefully scraping the frosting away, trying to not touch the cake, like the frosted part of the cake that I just worked so hard on. I'm taking a damp paper towel and running it along the edge as well. I really don't know what to do about that seam, but again, I'm just gonna try and cover it up. But you guys, what the heck? This looks pretty good. I'm gonna leave this in the fridge to kind of harden, and then we will decorate with the flowers. Okay, I got ready, did my makeup, did my hair, and I'm about to start decorating the cake. Here's the cake. It's been chilling in the fridge for about an hour. I saw something that said you should do all of the bigger elements first and then fill in with your smaller garnishes. I think I want to use this as like the main flower. Actually, I think I want to use these flowers. And then because I don't know if this is toxic, I'm gonna wrap it in foil. I carefully wrapped each flower stem because for some flowers, the juices can be toxic, so you don't want them to seep into the cake. And yes, I could have just used all edible, food-safe flowers, but I just wanted to do what was easy, and going to Trader Joe's and just grabbing a few bouquets was very easy for me. Plus, the only people eating this cake were me and Kyle. I knew that the chamomile and roses were edible, but I still just wrapped all of the flowers really nice and tightly in the foil just to to be safe, and you'll see later when I remove them for the taste test that it actually worked out nicely. I've also seen people wrap them in floral tape or saran wrap, but I just used foil because it was honestly just the most convenient for me. As for actually decorating the cake, I wanted the design to be very whimsical and colorful and with a light pastel color scheme. I wanted it to be obvious just by looking at it that it was a strawberry matcha cake, and I wanted it to be fun and filled with flowers but not too crowded. In total, decorating took about 1.5 hours because I was so indecisive. Looking back, I don't know why it took so long, but I think I just spent a lot of time checking my Pinterest board for inspo and trying to envision the design in my head first before placing each flower, because I felt like if I didn't like the placement and I wanted to move the flower, it would leave a huge hole and mess up the frosting that I worked so hard on, and I wasn't confident that I'd be able to patch up the hole if I needed to, so it just felt like a lot of commitment. I was also just putting a lot of pressure on myself because I am a perfectionist. I was being super careful with every flower placement, so I had to remind myself to just enjoy the process. So in the end, I just took my time with it. Side note, it was also a really hot day, so the frosting was melting and my strawberries were sliding down, so I used a toothpick to hold them in place. Towards the end, I did get a little tired, so I didn't do too much for the back of the cake, but finally I finished and this was the final result. I can't believe I made this entire thing from start to finish. Oh my gosh. I feel like you'll either love it or hate it. It's definitely not everyone's style, but I love it. Then I changed into my dress and Kyle helped me take photos with the cake outside. It's slipping so bad. It's so hot, that's why. Okay, I just went outside to take some photos with the cake, but it is so hot today. I think it's a heat wave weekend because it feels like, I think 80 or 90 degrees right now, which is pretty unusual for San Francisco, but it is so hot that the cake started to practically melt, and you can kind of see at the bottom it started to shift, so I had to be really careful about it. I guess because I was tilting it while I was holding it, so it started to slide. I wanted to take it to the beach to take photos with it, but I do not think it's gonna make it there, so I'm just gonna cut into it and look at the cross section now. Okay, I don't even know where to cut into it. Okay, now I'm gonna go like here. I obviously did not think about this while I was making it. I moved these strawberries a little. Here we go. Oh my gosh, the top layer is so much taller than the bottom. Okay, the cake looks pretty good. Look at that. The color looks really good. And this slice is so cute. I feel like I could have added more of the strawberries. And I wish the cake pieces were more evenly sized, but it's okay. Let's give it a taste. That's actually good. Wait, that is actually so good. The cake itself is super good. I did a pretty good job. Okay, cross section. How's it look? Not great. Blah. Going to remove the flowers. Okay. The foil did stay on. I did wrap it pretty tightly. Okay, here you go. I'm happy. Turned out better than I expected. Success! So the last thing I wanted to do was go to the beach and take photos at sunset. So I took all the leftover flowers I had and turned them into a bouquet. I found this easy bouquet wrap from Trader Joe's and used that to wrap the flowers. My bouquet was pretty short though, so the wrap was a little too big, and I'm not very good at wrapping bouquets in the first place, so it looks a little awkward, but I do love how the flowers look together, especially this color scheme. Okay, I think I'm good with this. Then we made our way to Ocean Beach. it to the beach. It is so bright and sunny right now. Holy cow. The sunset was so beautiful, the weather was perfect, and the photos turned out even better than I expected. I used my Canon G7X Mark II camera with flash, and even though this camera is pretty old, like I've had this for 8 years now, it still takes amazing photos. Just finished taking photos. It is so cold. We're going home now. Overall, I'm super happy with how this weekend turned out. I did so many things that I've been wanting to do for a long time, like making an entire cake, getting a new dress that I feel confident and comfortable in, taking cute photos, and watching the sunset at the beach. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.